The Tennessee Titans just recently wrapped up the preseason with a 30-27 win over the Saints. The starters played a couple of series before the reserves came in. It was the final opportunity for players in a position battle to make their case for the 53-man roster. We got to see Will Levis, and honestly, he had a near perfect preseason. Despite having some reported struggles with interceptions during training camp, Levis, who got the start Sunday, sliced through the Saints defense on 2 scoring drives that helped Tennessee build a 10-0 lead in the second quarter. He was nearly perfect as a passer, as he finished his day 7 of 8 through the air for 118 yards and a 118.8 passer rating. In this video, I'm going to be talking everything Titans, what happened over the last 3 preseason games, and what you can expect from this team, and certainly players, over the upcoming season. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are now on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so let's get into the preseason and talk about what went down. The Tennessee Titans went 3-0 in the preseason, a meaningless accomplishment, but in those exhibition games, we saw glimpses of what could be this season. In the first preseason game against the Niners, starting QB Will Levis presented limited but impressive stats. Levis completed 4 or 5 passes for 35 yards, including a 22-yard toss to receiver Calvin Ridley. Levis also managed to find the end zone using his legs. After acquiring Ridley this offseason, fans were given their first look at the Levis-Ridley connection. The defense saw a big night from third-year linebacker Chance Campbell, who racked up 8 tackles, a sack, and a game-sealing interception on the final play of the game. Despite no offense from the backups, Tennessee beat San Francisco 17-13 to kick off the preseason the right way. The second game against Seattle featured some shine from the rookies. Undrafted free agent kicker Braden Narveson provided a happy ending to the night when he booted the game winner from 46 yards out as time expired from the clock. The undrafted free agent from North Carolina State said that he was sick in the morning and didn't even know if he was going to be able to play in the game. The other rookie who made some waves was edge rusher Jalen Harrell. We're talking about a 7th rounder battling to make the roster. And the result? Harrell was credited with 3 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 2 sacks in the contest. And he also had a forced fumble. This is what the preseason is all about. The Titans won 16-15 and moved to 2-0. Immaculate vibes all around. And to finish out the preseason, Tennessee traveled to New Orleans for their first and only road game. The storyline before, during, and after this game was the backup QB competition. Malik Willis against Mason Rudolph. Willis specifically needed to really impress to keep the team from using just 2 quarterbacks on the active roster. The results? Both QBs showed out. After relieving Levis in the second quarter, Rudolph immediately drove the Titans 67 yards in 16 plays on a drive that produced a field goal. Rudolph was 5 of 7 for 47 yards on the drive, and he was 11 of 15 for 114 yards on the day. Willis connected with Bryce Oliver for a pair of touchdown tosses from 34 yards and 5 yards out. In the fourth quarter on Sunday, as the Titans rallied, Willis finished the game 3 of 4 for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he had an 156.2 rating. QB battles are always fun when it doesn't truly affect your team. Willis was traded days later to the Packers for a 7th round pick. And Tennessee beat the Saints 30-26 to cap off an undefeated preseason. The Titans watched Will Levis fall out of the first round in the 2023 draft and took a swing on the mayonnaise-loving Kentucky QB. Fast forward to week 8, and Levis had beaten out Malik Willis for the backup job and seized the starting job after impressing during Ryan Tannehill's injury stint. During the final 9 games, Levis recorded 255 attempts, 149 completions, and 1,808 yards with 8 touchdowns. His rookie year was highlighted by 2 big wins. And one of those was beating the Falcons in his debut, throwing for 238 yards with 4 touchdowns to beat Atlanta 28-23. And after a few more starts, he made his Monday night debut against the Miami Dolphins. The rookie engineered his first career NFL game-winning drive at Miami by completing 23 of 38 passes for 327 yards with a touchdown. Even with 9 games under his belt, Levis wanted to use the preseason to see more NFL action. He played in all 3 games and set the tone for a big year. In the first 2 games, Levis went a combined 11 of 13 passing for 153 yards, no touchdowns, and no picks. He also added a 1-yard rushing touchdown in the preseason opener win over the San Francisco 49ers. And then Titans fans' final look at Levis was nearly perfect. Like I said, he finished his day 7 of 8 through the air for 118 yards and a 118.8 passer rating. It's not hard to get excited after a preseason like that. Anyways, now let's talk receivers. The days of AJ Brown are long gone. Tennessee has built an entirely new receiving core, complete with names you'll surely recognize. Calvin Ridley joins the Titans as their new #1 target. Ridley enters the season at age 29 after 8 touchdowns and just over 1,000 yards in Jacksonville last year. DeAndre Hopkins was a pleasant surprise when he joined the Titans last year and racked up a similar season to Ridley, racking up 7 TDs and just over 1,000 yards. Tennessee also brought in longtime Bengals slot threat Tyler Boyd. On top of all those reliable names, the Titans continue to keep their eyes on Treylon Burks, who they drafted with the pick they got from trading AJ Brown. While Burks hasn't fully popped, his talent has flashed, and every season is a chance to show why he was worth ditching AJ Brown for. When Will Levis drops back to pass this year, he'll have his pick of playmakers running all over. The emergence of Will Levis caused Tennessee to reevaluate and make huge moves on this roster. The offensive line was one of the groups also addressed. With a complete retooling, they added left guard Peter Skoronski in last year's draft and brought in left tackle JC Latham and then added center Lloyd Cushenberry to complement him. The change on the offensive line is easy to miss, but there is another change you may not have even noticed. After years of Derrick Henry getting most of Tennessee's carries, the Titans plan on veteran free agent signee Tony Pollard and second-year pro Tyjae Spears leading the backfield this season. The Titans signed Pollard early in the 2024 offseason to add experience and a playmaking threat to the offensive backfield. He joins the team coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, and Spears is a dynamic and explosive running back with superb instincts and the ability to play on all downs on offense and contribute in the return game as well. As a rookie, Spears appeared in all 17 games and accumulated 838 scrimmage yards to rank 7th in franchise history among rookie running backs. Replacing a name like Derrick Henry was never going to be easy, but the Titans are showing they had one hell of a plan to do it. And as if the new names all over the field weren't enough, Tennessee added a new name to the sideline. After 2 straight years of missing the playoffs, the Titans moved on from Mike Vrabel. Tennessee elected to go with an offensive-minded coach. Brian Callahan arrives in Tennessee with 18 total years of coaching experience and 14 years of NFL coaching experience, including the previous 5 seasons as the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Callahan is in Tennessee for one huge reason: to get the most out of Will Levis. Callahan has worked with the likes of Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, and most recently, Joe Burrow. The plan to make Levis great will start with 2 things: footwork and scheme. Similar to Baker Mayfield, Levis has a style of dancing around with happy feet, a common anxiety driven more by a young QB. After mechanics are fixed, Levis will soak in an entirely new system. A system based off years with elite quarterbacks should cause a year 2 jump for the young QB. After Mike Vrabel's defensive mind and Patriot way influence, the locker room will surely benefit from a fresh new voice. And just like they revamped the offense, Tennessee changed their defense too. Since the end of last season, the team has traded for cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, signed cornerback Chidobe Awuzie, signed safeties Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, signed Kenneth Murray, signed defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph Day, and drafted defensive lineman Tavondre Sweat in the 2nd round. That was all before the Titans capped off the preseason by going for the Rams' best defensive player, linebacker Ernest Jones, and 5-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons has been a staple for the Tennessee defense. Now it seems he'll have the help to be a part of a great defense and a winning team. I know I've talked about the Titans plenty, maybe because it seems like no one else is. Their offense is led by a 2nd rounder who likes mayonnaise in his coffee. Their defense is led by a defensive tackle, which wasn't the flashiest position, and the entire team is led by a rookie head coach. This is your chance to buy stock in the Titans. Watch Will Levis win over NFL fans with moxie and hard-nosed quarterback play. Watch the $306 million in offseason spending come to life. Watch a fresh voice in the locker room turn a team that just won a few games into surprise division champs. Offense new, defense new, head coach new. Everything is fresh and Tennessee is looking to capitalize now. So like I said, this is your chance to believe in the Titans before all the hype and bandwagon starts. Alright. Now let's break down some of the week 1 keys to the game against the Chicago Bears. We all know the Bears have built up an insanely talented receiving room, so right away, the Titans secondary is going to be tested. The defensive line will have to be on their A game, putting pressure on Williams, especially with it being his first start ever in the NFL. Will Levis is also going to have to find a way to put up some points because I could see this game getting into the 30 points range. That's really all I have to say for this video. Let me know in the comments below how you are feeling about the Titans as we approach the first game against the Bears. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.